Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to some Witchy Reads. I love doing different type of videos every season for themes and stuff like that. Halloween, I'm always going for spookier books, witchy ones, vampire ones, paranormal ones, and each year I read more, my list grows and grows. Is this my first time making a Witchy Reads video? No, nor will it be my last. So I will expand upon it every single time I do it. But either way, I have a big old stack of books that are just perfect for witchy reads. Whether they be spooky or whether they just be straight witchy, they got all the witchy vibes. Okay, let's get into all the witchy reads. One that I read last year, 100% on a whim, 100% because of a cover by, but I 100% loved it and even made it into my favorites of last year. That's how much I loved it. A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallis Kinney. Of course I had to buy this book because the cover is perfection. It is amazing. It's a beautiful fall book. I love it. But I have to say, again, I loved it. So this book is about Hecate, who is a hedge witch. So she lives in this cottage and she's a hedge witch, protecting things around her, things like that. And she comes from a family of witches. Her mom was a kitchen witch. So she has a recipe book of all of her mom's things. This even has recipes in it, I want to say. And it just is for different type of things, careful caramel apples. They're sure to help little ones on the night of Hallows Eve, to help keep them safe. And she, in fact, even goes, during the parade, she gives out these caramel apples to little kids only to help keep them safe during Halloween so they don't, go running in the street or stuff like that. And I'm like, she's amazing. She is an amazing. And so, basically, in this book, she is, Hecate, or she's known as Kate. She's thrown in, kind of a lurch because she's gonna pronounce that she's gonna be a hedge witch, but then a guy named Matthew shows up who is also a witch, and they kind of had a thing a while ago, somewhere to stay, and she's a hedge witch, so that's her job to provide that, and so she kind of does. And I'm not explaining it that well, but I'll read the little thing. It's a celebration of the Halloween season and a love letter to anyone who drinks pumpkin spice in August and carries the spirit of witch inside their heart all year long. This book, I will say, it's a quiet one. It's not very plot heavy. It's very much character driven, day by day. She does errands and things like that, cooks. And I don't know why some of those books I just obsess over. And this is that one. It's just a cozy, witchy read, honestly. I love and adore it. Would recommend everyone to read. But if you're looking for a really intense plot about witches and things like that, this is not one for you. But if you're looking for a cozier, quiet one, this one right here, baby. Got you covered. Up, I have two books in a series. First up, I have The Spell Shop by Beth Durst, and then the companion sequel came out to it, The Enchanted Greenhouse. They both are kind of witchier, cozy reads. I love cozy, witchy reads. So The Spell Shop follows a character named Keela who lives in the capital, and the capital's going downhill, and she's a librarian in the capital, and so people are throwing fire all over it, and she's like, crap, I gotta save the book. So she teams up with Kaz, who is a sentient, is that the right word? Sentient spider plant, and they save all the books they can, get on a boat, hightail it out of there. And she's like, crap, where should I go? And so she goes to this island that she grew up in. I forget where it's at exactly, her childhood home. And she goes there and she's like, crap, I have to make a living. What am I gonna do? And so she packs some spell books, which is a big no in the capital. But she's like, I ain't in the capital anymore. So she uses a spell book to make plants, things like that, help the trees. She starts to make jam, and then, she does spells and things like that in the small island, and it's just so freaking cute. The side character is amazing. Kaz is an amazing spider plant. It's just adorable. Again, not very plot heavy, but more character driven, just cozy vibes all around. I adored it. And then we have kind of the companion novel to that, and that is The Enchanted Greenhouse. So this book actually follows Turla, who created Kaz, the sentient spider plant, because she was also a librarian and she was getting lonely. So my girl's like, I'm gonna look up some spells and I'm gonna make me a friend. And she made the spider plant, and she got in trouble for it because, like I said, magic is the big no-no. And her punishment was to be turned into a statue. That's right, a freaking statue. And so she's a statue, and then one day she wakes up on an island and she's not a statue anymore. She is by all of these greenhouses, and so she meets the innkeeper, or she meets the greenhouse, the gardener, I guess you could say. His name is, what is his name? Yarrow. And he's like, I thought you were a witch. I woke you up. You were sent to me. I woke you up because I thought you would help me with my failing greenhouses. And she's like, oh, I'm not, but I could maybe help you. And so the whole book is them trying to help these greenhouses because a lot of them are failing because they're magical greenhouses. Like one's full of cacti, one's full of like food, one is full, like it's so magical and cozy. Like just grab yourself like a warm cup of tea, pumpkin spice latte, hot chocolate, whatever you want to do, and just read these books for a cozy witchy time. You will not be disappointed. On to more of an atmospheric one, I guess I should say. Wayward by Amelia Hart. Again, the cover is just beautiful. It is stunning. Whoever does Amelia Hart's covers should get all the money. So this one is 3 short stories kind of in one. It takes place in 2019, 1619, and 1942. And basically they're all about women that kind of are in really tumultuous situations and they feel this draw towards this cottage, the Wayward Cottage. And you kind of can guess they're all kind of witches and they learn type of things. And it's just a beautiful story about resilience, things like that. It says, weaving together the stories of 3 extraordinary women across 5 centuries, Wayward is an astonishing debut and enthralling novel of female resilience. And that's what this book is. It's very atmospheric, kind of darker. It's not like overly witchy, but it is kind of witchy, which is why I'm recommending it. I really enjoyed it. I really like this one opposed to her newest release this year called Sirens. I really wanted to love that one, but I didn't. But I really like this one. And to kind of more maybe a spookier witchy read, we have Cackle by Rachel Harrison. She is a staple Halloween read. Like, she's a staple Halloween author in my house. Like, every year she comes out with one that's around September, October, and every year I get excited. I don't love all of her books, but I do enjoy Cackle. So she is like predominantly horror. But I don't really think she's that horror. Like, I think it's just kind of more elements of horror, but not overly scary, and take that from somebody who's the world's biggest scaredy cat. So this book is about a character named Annie who has lived her life playing it safe. And then one day her boyfriend's like, look, you're kind of boring. We're done. And she's like, crap. And so she moves from Manhattan to a small village upstate, and she's a teacher, and she meets everybody. They're friendly and warm. And then she meets Sophie, who is just this beautiful, magnetic, charming woman. But everyone in the town is kind of scared of Sophie. And he's like, what the heck? And if you don't know, Rachel Harrison's, yes, like I said, they're kind of horror, spookier vibes, but they all kind of have an overcompassing like arc to them. This one's about female friendship and about how Annie and Sophie would do anything for each other. There's also a lot of spiders in this one, so maybe if you're agoraphobic or acrophobic, I forget the right word, maybe don't use it, because Sophie does use a lot of spiders in this book to kind of help learn things. But I really liked it. Like I said, Rachel Harrison is a Halloween staple in my house, and that's just how I like it, honestly. Moving into a romance, we have The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. This is part of a trilogy. I have read the first 2, maybe 3 books. The first one's still my favorite. It's just overall cutesy vibes, witchy vibes, I guess you could say. It's like, this I would describe as if Stars Hollow was full of magic and witches, but nobody really knew it except for the witch. I guess you could say. So this is about a character named Vivian. And 9 years ago, Vivian was in a relationship with her boyfriend Reese. Everything's hunky-dory. And then he's like, bye. And so she is heartbroken, and she's a witch. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to drown my sorrows in some alcohol and put a curse on this boy. And so she does. And nothing comes of it. So she's like, forget it. And now 9 years later, Reese comes back in town because he's actually part of the founding family that kind of owns the town, or founds the town, obviously, and he needs to recharge the ley lines, like magic lines. But as soon as he enters foot in this town, things start happening. Like, wind-up toys start attacking him. A cat can magically talk. Like, see, Vivi realizes, oh, my curse is now coming into fruition because the town's trying to push him out. And so she has to team up with him and be like, hey, the curse on you like 9 years ago. It's a second chance romance. It's cute. Is it anything groundbreaking or like super, super interesting? Not really, but I still really enjoyed it. Next up, we have one of my favorite atmospheric books. It's not overly witchy, but it is kind of like a little bit witchy. So I'm going to recommend it anyway. And that is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I love this book. If you just want a perfect book for a cloudy, gloomy day, this book right here, baby, got you covered. So this book follows a character named Emery who lives on this island that nobody really goes to. It's kind of like just a creepy, always perpetually cloudy, always just island. And then tourists come in that help their island every year. But then she also runs the Blackwood's tea, herbal tonics, and tea leaf readings because she's kind of a witch. It's in her family and all that kind of stuff. And then who should come back but August, her like teenage love. Like they fell in love hard, but then this tumultuous event happened that as a reader you don't know, you learn as you read on, and sent him away from the island forever. But now he is back because sadly his mom passed away and he's there to bury her and he wants to pay honor to her. But everyone in the town's like, why are you here, August? You should train him, have some unfinished business. They have some second chance love. It's just, I don't know, atmospheric. How can I describe? Deeply atmospheric story about ancestral magic and unsolved murder and a second chance at true love. That is exactly it. I love this one. Will recommend it every fall. Another one I recommend every fall that again is not like, oh, really witchy, a little bit witchy, and that is The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina by Zordita Cordova. I love this book. I finally read this years ago, and this one does not get nearly enough hype as it does. So this is about the Montoya family, and at the head of it is Orquídea. She is the matriarch. She's the grandmother, and she lives by herself, but then she sends out letters to all of her family saying, hey, I'm going to die soon. Come to my house to collect your will. And so everyone's like, heck yeah, let's do this. And she goes there, and like she passes away and turns into a freaking tree. Like I said, witch. But then the Montoyas start getting hunted, and so they have to kind of team together. I'm trying to figure out like what exactly, like how can I describe this book? It's a stunning homage to the powers of ancestors and the legacy they leave behind. A spellbinding talent of magic that is woven across generations. And that's exactly what this is. It's more of a family book at heart because they all have to kind of team together, but it does have magic at the core of it, and I loved it. It's beautifully written and beautifully told, very atmospheric. And the last books I have are, again, more cozy, witchier ones, and that is the Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches and also A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, both by Sangu Madonna. They're both kind of companion novels. The first one that came out follows Mika, who is a witch, and hush hush about it. You meet with like a coven. You can't tell everybody you're a witch, but she does practice like witchcraft like on YouTube and stuff, but not really. But anyway, she gets contacted by these people saying, hey, we have these girls that are young that are just coming into their witchhood, and we need someone to help train them. And Micah never had that. So she goes to this home where she meets these young girls and she trains them how to be a witch. And it is so cozy, so adorable, so cute. All the cozy witchy vibes. And then the one that just came out very recently is The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which I think I like the side characters more in this book. This one is about a character named Sarah, who's a witch, and she was very, very powerful, even when she was a teenager. But when she gets home one day, because she lives with her aunt, has passed away, sadly, and so Sarah uses all of her magic to bring her aunt back, and she has paid the price for it because that's a big no-no. She loses all of her magic. So it picks up years later. Her and her aunt are still running this very inn, and she uses her magic, the little sparseness that she has to like start fires, things like that. But it is just so cozy. It takes place at an inn. When Sarah brought back her great aunt, she also accidentally brought back like her great aunt's favorite rooster that passed away. So he's just a literal bundle of bones that just walks around. And then the people that live in the inn, gosh, they have like a knight that lives there that thinks he's a real knight. They have a talking fox because it was a witch that got cursed and now she's in a fox form. It's just hilarious. Basically in this book, she figures out a way that she maybe can get her magic back because this guy named Luke enters the picture. He stays there with his younger sister who's autistic, which I thought the autism representation was amazing in this, especially because she was nonverbal, and I loved it so much. So I love this one. Both are very, very cozy witchy vibes that I adore. So there you have all the witchy reads. That's not even all of them. I have more, but I have to contain myself somewhat. I would love to know some of your favorite witchy reads because I like to read them every single year. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.